By the end of this video, you're gonna have a foolproof strategy to creating your next year's profit plan. One that could potentially double or even triple your bottom line. Everybody wants to make more money. Everybody wants to increase sales, but you can only hustle your way for so long before maybe you plateau, or even worse, before the business starts to go backward. You need to make sure that your operations can actually handle the growth you're trying to hit. Now, when you let go of control, you will gain more time freedom. When you're in alignment with what you're doing, it's going to be a whole lot easier to continue to move forward. Interested in learning the key to unlocking your most profitable year yet? Forget the guesswork and the last minute scrambling. By the end of this video, you're going to have a foolproof strategy to creating your next year's profit plan. One that could potentially double or even triple your bottom line. It's the exact method I have used to hit the Inc. 5,000 fastest growing companies in America the past 2 years. It's also what we share with thousands of our clients to help them increase their profits while getting back their time working in the day-to-day operations. Welcome to our 8th annual Plan to Profit series. Now, this is a great series to listen to for annual planning, but I also want to invite you to use it every quarter as well. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to save this video and put it in your Google Calendar or whatever calendar you use as a reminder to rewatch and replan every single quarter. Now, this is great if you ever need to refresh your goals, maybe revisit your goals, or completely change directions if you feel like your business is calling for a pivot. All right. Annual planning is not a one-time or one-day thing. It is a process that we refer to as strategic planning. And it's how we're able to grow our businesses so fast. Now, if you don't know me, I have 2 multiple 7-figure businesses. One business is actually hitting a run rate of 8 figures right now. We'll be hitting 8 figures in the next few months. Now, it's not a fluke that we have grown so quickly. We are very strategic. It's how we've hit the Inc. 5,000, right? So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly what we do here at Well Oiled Operations to create our profit plan for the next 12 months. All right, let's talk about why small business sucks. It is not all that it is cracked up to be. In fact, most small business owners aren't making much money and they work 24/7. Maybe that's the stage you're in right now. You're working way too hard for way too little money, hoping that next year is going to be your year. I can't tell you how many times I said that. Next year is going to be like my year. Next year is going to be the best year, right? Every year you're just hoping that next year gets better. Now, I will tell you that I used to be a broke 7-figure business owner not that long ago, all right? My business looked really successful from the outside, but on the inside, I was working constantly. My laptop was glued to me. If I went on vacation, and that was rare that I went on vacation, but when I did go on vacation, I had to bring my laptop with me. And I was overworked, I was underpaid, yet from the outside, it looked like I had everything I could possibly want, right? I had clients even saying things like, all I cared about was the money, or I was overcharging them. Little did they know, I would sometimes have to put money into my business to get it to run the next month. My business wasn't paying me, I paid it. Now, that is no longer my story, thank goodness. For me, when I started to strategically plan, that is when things started to change. Over a decade ago, I went on maternity leave and I never went back into my studios. I had set up the plan, the people, and the processes to get out of the day-to-day operations. Today, I consult them once or twice a month for about 1 or 2 hours done from my home office. What most people don't understand is how much of that you don't see from the surface. Everybody wants to make more money. Everybody wants to increase sales, but you can only hustle your way for so long before maybe you plateau, or even worse, before the business starts to go backwards or downhill, because it's exhausting. Now, what you need to understand is selling is only one piece of the puzzle. In fact, it's only one of 6 we're going to talk about today. It's not a coincidence that both of my businesses have surpassed the 7-figure mark It is very strategic. And I want to use this Plan to Profit series to dive in and talk about what my team and I are thinking as we plan our next 12 months. So today we're going to discuss the 6 success systems we use here at Well-Oiled Operations. I'll go a little fast through these as an overview, but I will come back to all 6 of these as we continue in this training. So number 1 is significance. And you want to ask yourself, are we in alignment with what we sell and who we serve and what the business looks like overall? Solution. What is your best seller, your most profitable product, program, or service? We look at service, the customer experience. Sales. Do you have a predictable system for your marketing and sales? Do you know how many leads you're going to get this week, this month, this year? Structure. Who will you need in order to help you carry out this vision? And then last, systems. What processes will you need in place to run this business like a well-oiled machine? Here's what you need to know. Making a lot of money can be really fun, like really, really fun, but it can also be your worst nightmare. We have had business owners pay us to help them shrink their business on purpose, asking us how they can go backwards just a little bit because the size of business they have is now creating a ton of headaches, right? They have client complaints coming in left and right. They're selling more than they've ever sold. They have too many team members who aren't taking accountability and ownership. And the bigger the company gets, the more clients you have and the more team you need. So we don't want you to grow and hate your life as the business gets bigger, right? Our goal is to have you enjoy the journey on your way to 7 or 8 figures in annual revenue. Now, most times you need to clean up your business before you can scale up. So think about where you are right now. Think about how messy some parts of the business is. Then picture doubling that business in revenue. It's going to get messier. Before you're ready to scale the business to what you're envisioning, you need to make sure that your operations can actually handle the growth you're trying to hit, or you might peak or plateau, or even worse, start crashing down. So inside of Well-Oiled Operations, we cover the plan, the people, the process. It's the what, the who, the how. And today we're going to break those down even further into our 6 success systems. As you work through these, it's time to do a debrief. We do these after every event, every marketing campaign or launch, another year in the program. We use the data to direct us moving forward. We want to ask ourselves questions like, what worked? What didn't? What will we change next time? So many business owners don't do this. They're always just working on the next thing. It's like the phrase, throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Now, as a visionary, as an innovator, we're always throwing spaghetti at the wall, but we're not looking, taking our time, staying patient, and actually looking to see what stuck. Why did it stick? What didn't stick? Why didn't it, right? We have to get good at looking at what worked, what didn't, and what will we do different next time. Success comes from refining. Here's what I want you to know. There is never going to be a time when you think you have enough time to do this. There is never a time when you will think, okay, money is great. I will have enough money to do this, okay? Even somebody at multiple 7 figures right now, I am busier than ever. And yes, I make more money than ever, but I also spend more money than ever, right? My payroll is millions of dollars a year, okay? So I want you to know the time to work on this is now. You're only going to get busier the more successful you get. You'll have more clients. You'll have a bigger team. Don't fool yourself that later will be a better time. All right, I want to pause for 1 second to invite you to our 9-week free live course called the Ultimate Profit Plan. This is ideal to do with your key players or leaders on your team. It's going to include a weekly training to get your team more accountable, owning their roles, and staying focused. We will also be doing live Q&As to get your questions answered, as well as handing out key objectives to accomplish each week with your team. You can expect increased productivity, and that we of course know turns into revenue and profit, right? So get signed up today for free at ultimateprofitplan.com, and I'll make sure to add it to the description and show notes so you can find it. All right, back to today's episode. Now, the best part is when you start to focus on operations, others get to help you carry some of the weight. How many of you are exhausted? You are so tired. You have such a huge to-do list, and for some reason, you can never get caught up, right? Now, when you let go of control, you will gain more time freedom. You will multiply your work and your profits. The business will become fun again. So let me show you how we are preparing the next 12 months. We have a big goal this year of producing over that 8 figures in annual revenue. And if you want to see how we're doing that, stick with me. Now, if you're still at 6 or 7 figures in annual revenue, this will still apply to you. I wish I would have been doing this in the earlier years. I would be here a lot faster than I was. Now, to strategically plan for the next 12 months, there are multiple steps, and it will be different depending on your team size. I will give examples for all different ranges. But before I start planning with the team, I plan individually as the owner and leader, and I ask myself, what do I want? Not what should I want, not what does everybody else want? What do I want? The next question, why do I want it? Because sometimes we are fooling ourselves into something we just think we should want or we should be doing because everybody else is doing it. So ask yourself why. So the first stage of strategic planning is just me getting clear on what I want to accomplish this year. Stage 2 is when I roll it out to my director of operations. So she is my numbers and kind of math girl, right? She's a great spreadsheet girl where sometimes, I'll just like say things and then she brings me back to earth to show me what actually is happening, right? What does the spreadsheet say? So with that said, you want to get fully on the same page with your right hand before you tell anybody else. Now, if you don't have a right hand, we actually call this person an operator, okay? So that should be, if you don't have this person, that should be one of your top goals for the next 12 months. An innovator or a visionary, right? That CEO without an operator is not playing at the level you could be. So you haven't unlocked your full potential if you are missing this person. Now, if you don't have a director of operations yet, do you have somebody who is the opposite of you, right? So again, if you're this visionary, this ideas person, do you have somebody who loves a good spreadsheet? Right, who could really help you with those numbers and help you see what is not, I don't want to say realistic because we have doubled our revenue. We have done some crazy things, but they were still realistic. We had the math on paper and we made it our reality. Okay. So tell me in the comments below, do you have an operator? Maybe you don't call him or her that, but do you have a right hand? Do you have an operator? We usually see about 50% that have one and 50% that don't. Okay. The next phase 3, is I take the info after talking to my operator, and I've got like real numbers with real data, real spreadsheets, and I take it to the rest of my leadership team. So currently my leadership team is a director of marketing, sales, customer success, the director of ops that I just talked about, and myself. So there are 5 of us. If you don't have an official leadership team, ask yourself, who are my key players, right? Who are the people that are all in, that I want to have a conversation with first, or who helps me the most in marketing, in sales, in customer success, in operations, okay? From there, we then bring it to the entire team and we allow for objections, questions, concerns. Maybe they're seeing something we aren't, right? They are closer to the customer than we are, okay? So this will allow us to bust some objections and also build their belief that these numbers are possible, okay? Stage 5 is we go back, the leaders and I draft up the final goals for every single department. We set the annual goals as well as Q1 and January, and we roll out the action items, okay? Now, whenever somebody tells me I can't wait to join Well Oiled, Stacy, I am doing it as soon as the new year hits, okay? This tells me that you believe annual planning starts January 1st, okay? However, I want to make sure you know that in November, I'm already getting these things done and organized, getting dates on the calendar in December. so that by the end of the year, we have already rolled out the plan. So when January 1st starts, we're not like, what do you want to do this year? We have started this year, okay? Don't wait. I promise you, if you're waiting for annual planning, you're just delaying your results. Now, when everybody in the organization is on the same page, moving towards the same goals, you will achieve success at a much faster rate. Get everybody on the same page. It is your number one priority. All right, let's dive into the 6 pillars of success. So we're going to be diving deep here. It is time to just really reflect, to really get honest with yourself, no matter if you like the answer or not. So step 1 is significance. Are you in alignment with your products, your team, your clients, your business? You know, sometimes we're just so heads down that we look up and we go, how did I get here? What am I selling? How did I attract these clients, these team members? What have I created? I am not passionate about this, right? Maybe you're good at something, but you just don't love it. It doesn't fuel you, right? So I love what I do so much. And it's one of the reasons I'm successful, because I would do it for free and I did do it for free. So in my studios, I taught dance for free for 3 years. I had up to 100 kids that I wasn't charging for 3 years, okay? I loved it. When I started consulting in the business space, people were taking me to lunch, buying me a cup of coffee, coming into my studio, and I would just share openly for free because I love helping people and I love talking business. So when you're in alignment with what you're doing, it's going to be a whole lot easier to continue to move forward. People always comment on my energy. And I think it's because I'm just excited. I like what I do. I love what I do. So when I show up, you can feel it. All right. You can also feel when somebody isn't in alignment. So really think about that. Okay. Now, when I'm doing something because, oh, that could be a good money maker. Oh, that would really add, X amount of dollars. Or maybe a coach swayed me, and I shouldn't say that. Maybe a coach offered the idea and I decided to go with it, right? Maybe a client said, hey, you should do this. And I did. And now I'm regretting it, right? Whenever I've done something I'm not fully in alignment with, that is when it just isn't working, right? The business isn't lighting me up. I'm not waking up excited to come to work. So you want to ask yourself, like, am I in love with what I sell? Am I in love with the people I sell to? Now, disclaimer, you are not going to love 100% of your dream client, right? We always know there's going to be like 95% of our clients are absolutely amazing. And then somehow 5% crazy walks through the door, right? It's going to happen. I'm not saying you have to love every single person, but you should love a majority of the people you are serving, okay? Do I love the business I'm in? All right. Do I love the industry I'm in? Now, don't confuse yourself here with maybe you dislike the business right now because of the state it's in, okay? But that can be changed. So the question is, do you love your industry? Is there passion there? The second piece of this is setting better boundaries this year. What are going to be my yeses and what are going to be my nos? So getting really, really crystal clear on what is a heck yes and what is a absolutely not, get this off my calendar. We need to know, and we should be up leveling. So you should actually have new yeses and new no's for the year, because you should be becoming a higher level CEO than you were last year. And then really rating your day-to-day activities. So inside of Well Oiled's operations, we help our clients get stronger with their day-to-day and up level every 90 days, which is why you should have new no's and new yeses, right? Because you are up leveling. So we want you to get really clear on your top revenue generating activities as the CEO and understand where your strengths lie. Now it's time to look at those day-to-day and rate them. What is lighting you up? What is most important to the health of your business? Okay. Sometimes you're not going to love 100% of what you're doing, but you still need to do it. So I always say, sometimes there needs to be a temporary sacrifice this year, okay, so that next year things can change. So maybe you have to own marketing this year, even though you don't want to, but next year you'll be able to delegate it. So I think it's really, really important to know your top 3 jobs and make sure that they are taking up 80% of your calendar, if not more. Step 2, solution. What is your current best seller? What brought in more revenue than anything else in your business? Once you know that information, will it remain the same for this year? Maybe you were out of alignment. Maybe the market has changed. Maybe you're seeing a shift. Be really clear and intentional about this moving forward. Next, analyze last year's product suite. So when I say product suite, I mean all the different products, not just your bestseller, but everything you're currently selling. What worked? What didn't? Do we need to remove some products or services? Are they distractions? Are they sucking up time? Are they sucking up money? Have we tried for so long to get something off the ground and it's just not working? So this is where I ask myself, do I need to add? Is something missing? Or am I needing to get rid of? Is something distracting? All right. So well-oiled operations, our company right now is sitting on so many product ideas. We have so many things we think we could bring to the market, but we have 2 products right now. That's it, just 2. And we see so much potential with making them better. We just don't feel it is the right time to add right this second. Now, that may change in a quarter or 2, but we really want to look at what is the opportunity and what is the fastest way to getting us the success we're looking for next year. How can we improve it? So looking at that product suite and asking yourselves, how do we outdo ourselves last year? Which is why it's so hard for us to think about adding a new product when we still see so much opportunity to make the product better. Knowing this, what is your focus this year? Is it the same as last year? Different? Right? Really dial this in and understand where is the company going. So like I said, we only have 2 products right now. They're services, right? Well-oiled operations, which is designed for 6 and 7-figure business owners. And for us, the product is amazing. It gets great results. We are ready to take it to another level. So this year, we are looking at a major curriculum redesign. We have hired somebody to come in and ask the program, the product, how can we get our clients better, faster results? That's going to be huge for us. So we also just up-leveled our coaching staff. We completely rewrote the job descriptions, completely put them at a different pay and everything, and asked for a higher level caliber of people coming in. We have so many ideas and we are pouring everything we can into this program to outperform last year. When you do this, we will be able to focus on client retention. If we can get our clients even better results, they won't ever want to leave. Do you see how for us, the opportunity there to scale is so much bigger than thinking of a brand new thing that nobody knows about and we don't know if they want it, there's no product market fit, right? So really be thinking about that. Our next product we have is actually just the same product, but it's up-leveled. It's called Powerhouse, and it's for 7 and 8-figure business owners. So we just added a program lead to this program. So we're so excited. We have Alex running this department, and we're excited to pour into it even more and make it the room that Well-Oiled aspires to get into. So again, we have so many new product ideas. I could do an episode on like the 10 new things we want to launch, but all that will be right this second is a distraction. It takes a lot of willpower and discipline to say, not right now. I'm saying this because you might have a million new ideas, and is it the right time or is it a parking lot moment? So ask yourself, are you in constant creation, and is that stopping you from making your products better? Which leads me to step 3, service. So this is where I believe we thrive. The percentage of people that leave the program and come back says it all. So we have incredibly high renewal rates, but there are some people at some point that think, you know what, I've been here 2 years, 3 years. We just had somebody leave after 5 years, okay? And they're thinking, you know, I'm going to try something else. It feels like it's time. And then they leave, right? And then all of a sudden, a few months later, they're knocking at our door to come back. And of course, we happily welcome them back. But it's because they have an experience, they're getting used to something, right? They go someplace else, they experience a lesser quality customer experience, and they realize, okay, I want to go back into this environment. So, real, and this happens in my studios and in our consulting business all the time. So, yes, people will leave, like it will happen, right? I think it's just our natural instinct to see like what else is out there. But if you provide a higher next level experience, they will come back. Okay. So, questions to ask yourself: what does service look like here? How will you over deliver? How can you improve your customer experience? How will you serve them at another level this year? Do you maybe need to update your client profile? We are constantly refining this every single year, and then we use that in our marketing. So we figure out who the best client is, the one that we just love serving, the one that it's just so easy to over deliver for them. We take that information, we put it in our marketing, and guess what happens? We attract more of our best clients. And then how will you create an exceptional 5-star service? Next, let's talk about sales. So you want to make sure that you have a predictable marketing and sales funnel. So the first thing I want you thinking about is, what is your cold traffic marketing funnel? What do I mean by that? Okay, so you want to make sure you have one dialed in marketing funnel that attracts new people that don't know who you are. So that's what we mean when we say cold. They don't know who you are. They are not warmed up yet. You want something that is going to attract cold people that don't know who you are, that get into your funnel. So what is that? Do you have that dialed in? So for us, in both my studio and in my consulting business, we have one each that works very, very well, and they are the same thing next year. So once you have it dialed in, you don't need to do much to it. I shouldn't say that. Let's say it for once you have it dialed in. Once you have it dialed in, you don't really need to make new ones unless for some reason it was too trendy or too time relevant, and now you have to make something up. But if you have something that really truly is going to last a lifetime, right? It's the same, maybe free trial for us over here or a free training over here for us. Either way, those will last a long, long time. So when you have it, all you have to work on is making it better, not trying to outperform or get a new one. You just get that same one better and better and better. So what is your cold traffic marketing funnel? You might not have one, which means you need to focus on that this year. The next one, what is our number one warm traffic marketing funnel, where we scoop up the hot leads? Okay, so once somebody comes into your cold traffic funnel, eventually they start to warm up. Now, I wish 100% of the cold people bought, but they don't. So you want to think about, okay, well, what happens? Like, let's say, for instance, my dance studio has a free trial, and I've done free trial, right? And these cold people have taken the free trial, but they didn't sign up. So when I say, hey, try a free trial, they're like, we already did, but we didn't sign up. So what is the next thing I'm going to use to scoop up all the leads that didn't buy yet? These two funnels right here are going to change the way your business is generating revenue. If you don't have, I should say, if you're missing one, or maybe you have both, but they're mediocre, this is going to be massive. Okay. I said we thrive in customer experience. I think we do a pretty good job in the sales and marketing category as well, which is just fueling the machine. All right, in the comments below, I want to hear so far. I've thrown a lot at you. What is your biggest takeaway? What are some things you know you need to create, you know you need to do, maybe some ahas, some big things that are coming your way for next year? I want to hear it. Next, we want to think about creating a 12-month marketing calendar. This sounds like, oh my goodness, how am I going to create 12 months of marketing campaigns and getting people to convert? But here's what you don't understand. What's happening in most small businesses is they're like, okay, I need leads and I need them now. What am I going to do? And then they hurry and build something, a promotion, a campaign, and they blast it. But they've done it with not a lot of prep. So then they don't get that great of results. And then as soon as it's over, they have to do it again. And it's exhausting. So we talk about creating a 12-month marketing plan where you know what campaigns you're doing when. So you're never thinking It's January. What are we launching? It's May. What are we launching? You open up your 12-month marketing calendar and you're like, oh, it's May. We do this in May. Here are the Facebook ads. Here are the emails. Here's the social media campaigns. It's all done. So in my studios, as well as Well Oiled, we literally could tell you what month, what we've got going on, when we launch this, when we do that. The whole year is laid out and it makes it so incredibly simple. It also helps you refine and get better. So if every May I do the same promotion, I get to make it better every single May. If every May you're thinking, what should we do? You're always starting from scratch, and it's just never going to be as effective as somebody who can rinse and repeat. Next, establish what your budget is going to be. When I say, what's your marketing budget? Most people say, I don't really have one. I just spend when I want to spend, right? Like you're maybe getting somebody to ask you, hey, will you donate to this? Or do you want to be in this advertisement or whatever it is? And in the moment you're deciding, should we not? Do we do this? How much should we spend on Facebook ads? Should we do SEO? Like you're not sure. What I want you to really look at this year is, what does it cost to acquire a lead and a customer? Okay, let me break this down. So number one, cost to acquire a lead is a little bit easier to look at because you might be running Facebook ads or Google ads or things like that. So you can see I spent $12 and I got an email address. But what you have to understand is you might have gotten 30 leads this week, but only 3 people bought, okay? So for easy math, let's say that 30 people, you spent $10 to get 30 people. So you spent $300, but only 3 people ended up buying. So you're thinking, oh, I only pay $10 a lead. Yes, but you technically pay $100 for a customer. Does that make sense? So with that said, you need to know both metrics. You need to know, what am I willing to spend to get a lead because of the math, and we can see what happens at the end. What am I willing to spend to acquire? When you know those two numbers, business is going to look a whole lot different this year, and you'll actually be able to create a budget. What every business needs is a predictable leads and sales system. So when I say let the data direct you, we're looking at this information. If you don't have predictability, I would spend a lot of my time this year in the next 12 months figuring out this piece. Don't outsource this. There is nothing more important, and you are the best person to sell your product. You know your person better than anybody. You know your product better than anybody, okay? So I know if you're like me, I'm like, oh, let's just outsource it. Let's just hire a marketing agency. Right? But you still have to do the work, because when you hire the marketing agency or the copywriter or whoever, they're asking you, tell me about your client. Tell me about what she wants, her hopes, her fears, her desires, what scares her. Tell me about right? They're pulling that out of you, right? So you still have to create it anyway. So I would highly recommend you owning this until the marketing is doing so well, you can teach somebody else, okay? So I kept marketing on my plate till about $5.5 million in annual revenue in Well Oiled, okay? I was the director of marketing up until that point. We are now past like 8 million. We're actually having a run rate already of 10 million, meaning like we already make a run rate means like we already are making over $800,000 a month, which if you do 800 times 12, that's 10 million, right? So we already have a run rate of 10 million. I actually took marketing back on my plate, and I am just now with a run rate of 10 million, rehiring a director of marketing that can support us. So my point is, if you're looking at me and you're like, Stacey, how are you growing these businesses so fast? I will tell you, I had to learn marketing. I wasn't good at it. I'm not naturally a marketer, but I will tell you, I forced myself to learn it. And man, learning that skill set was one of the best things I ever did. Next piece, structure. This is massive. This is like everything we teach here at Well Oiled. Who will you need to help you in order to carry out this vision? Don't do this alone. I'm telling you, you are wearing too many hats. How many full-time positions do you think you're performing right now? Put it in the comments below. Are you wearing 6 hats, 8 hats? Maybe you're the director of marketing, you're the director of sales. You might think, I don't have a director of sales. Well, somebody's leading sales. So that means you probably are doing it, right? Director of customer success, operations. Maybe you're the janitor if you have a brick and mortar building, like you're the receptionist, you're answering the phone, you're checking the emails, right? How many hats are you wearing? And then you're wondering, why is the business not performing at the level I want it to perform? Well, you are one person. And I know you're amazing, but you're human and you are not capable of doing 7 full-time jobs in 1 week. So you need to start to build your dream team. I want to see your team grow. A healthy sign that the business is growing shows you're hiring more people. If you haven't hired in a long time, or it's been a while, it tells me your business isn't growing, right? Or you were overstaffed to begin with. So ask yourself, who do we need to hire this year? Is anybody moving to leadership? Do you have a leadership team? Do you have an operator? Is it time to find an operator? Is it time to build the leadership team? Do we have incentives and commission plans that we need to be created or revised? And this is where I really believe in this. My team is filled with A players. And one of the things that I just love about the team is they are so driven and they are so hungry and they are growth minded. I would say about 95% of our team has an incentive and commission plan. And when you hand over an incentive and commission plan to an A player who already is obsessed with growing, they just keep scaling. So for me, the business is growing rapidly, but it finally feels like it's not just me carrying all the weight. I have an army of people that are chasing these goals with me. Trust me, you want that. Where do we want to focus this year? Maybe this year you need to build up marketing, or you need to build up customer success, or you need to get serious about operations. Where do you think your focus is in the next 12 months? This past 12 months, we personally have focused on up leveling our team. So there is a phrase, what got you here won't get you there. But it's also, who got you here won't get you there. Our team is just getting better and better and stronger and stronger. I hope you can say the same thing as you look year after year. All right, next, systems. What processes will you need in place to run this business like a well-oiled machine? When you do it, you will see increased productivity. The efficiency is going to go through the roof, and getting the right people doing the right jobs, which means it may be moving people around a little bit in your organization. Now, when we talk about systems, I actually like to use the word playbooks, okay? And many of my clients have said, when you say playbooks, it clicks, right? So continuing to build out all of the systems for every position, for every program. When you call it a playbook, it's like, hey, this is how we answer the phone here. This is how we respond to our email. This is what we respond in a DM. This is how we run this play versus, oh yeah, just answer the phone however you want. Or when they ask for a refund, it kind of just depends on, what they're asking, and just send it to me, the owner, right? And then all of a sudden it's like the owner becomes the bottleneck. How many of you are the bottleneck in your business right now? They need you to make every decision. So we want to create playbooks. So one of the big things I do when I'm thinking about next year is I think, what is the playbook that's missing? That if we created it, my life would be so much easier, right? Now, sometimes you get to be so systematized that I feel pretty good right now. So my next question is, what is the playbook that if we installed in a specific department, that department would be running at a higher level? They would enjoy their work more. They would be less frustrated. And guess what? Less frustrated employees have higher retention rates. So systems are going to be the key to unlocking just a happier year. And trust me, you want to be happier, and keeping your team members happier is going to be a win-win for everybody involved, okay? Now, you'll never be done systematizing. So this year, we have some cleanup to do, right? We have too many project management boards that we aren't using. We have old Dropbox and Drive files. It's just time to clean up the business. And that's one of my biggest focuses is like, okay, we kind of have a minute where we're just like, we can breathe. And this is the time that we're going to do just that. All right. Now remember, I have those 6 areas that I'm thinking about, and I'm thinking about them with just stage 1. Right. And then when I go to roll it out with Sarah, my head of ops, right now, all of a sudden I'm showing her the 6. And then we're taking those 6 to the leaders. right? And then we're bringing them to the entire team. And then we actually set those goals and get everything set in stone before January so we can roll it out to the team. Now, if you got value out of this video, please hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed. Now, hopefully this gave you some ideas into how to plan for the next 12 months or the next quarter. Now, here's what's really, really cool. If you love this episode, we have so much in store for you. So I've created a 9-week free live course where it's literally like the next video to this video kicks off the course. So we're going to create your ultimate profit plan. This is ideal to go with your key players or leaders and get everybody on the same page. It is free. Go to ultimateprofitplan.com. I'll put it in the description of the show notes. The idea with this is every single week, I'm going to be dropping a on-demand training you can watch with your team. That same week, I'll be doing a live open Q&A here on YouTube where you can show up and actually get your questions answered. The whole idea was to go through this training together with your right hand, your operator, or your leadership team, or maybe it's the people you want to eventually be on your leadership team, or maybe somebody that you're thinking about joining as your right hand. You can expect increased productivity. And with that, we know you should see your revenue and profit follow. So get signed up today. It is for free. It is the ultimateprofitplan.com. And I'll make sure to add it to the description and show notes. Now, if you like today's episode, make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review wherever you are watching and listening. And I can't wait to help you create your ultimate profit plan and coach you over the next 9 weeks for free. See you soon.